my channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment.
Hello, guys. Welcome once again to another episode of Might Missing. Today is the final show, the part three reunion, and we've gotten to the end of a season of Might Medicine. Now, the question is, would they be getting a renewal? Would they be coming back for a season, for the season 11? Would we be having Quad back on the crew with everything that's been going on online? We know that her and Dr. Simone are still having their clash. So would there be a renewal, and would Quad be allowed back in the group? But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this episode. If you have anything to the questions I asked earlier on, you can put it on the comment section. Don't forget to like and comment, guys. Don't forget to, give us a subscribe if you're new to our channel. So, what did you feel about today's episode? I felt, for me, I felt it was so rushed.
Um, it was different things going on. It was good to see Quad apologize. But, I think the apologies kind of went overboard because every time I turned around, she's like, I'm sorry, I apologize. They had her crying. It was just so much going on. As far as, do I think the show will get picked back up? Yeah, I do. I honestly do.
Mm. You feel like the show is going to get picked back up?
Yes, I do. I do. I mean, they had a lot of things going on, and I kind of felt like Sweet Tea was bullied at first. Like she said, she thought that, hey, she was going to get hazed or something into the group. Yeah, and it was kind of like a hazing, which was to me totally unnecessary because, like, why would you treat somebody like that? You know what I'm saying? Especially when
Mm.
they're trying to get to know you and come into a group, you know. So it was a lot going on, and to see Apollo, it was a lot going on.
Yeah, I felt it was just a lot of things going on, like too much of everything. They were trying to me, I felt like they were trying to rush the questions. They were trying to touch every point and trying to at least let them be as if they hit at every point. So it was becoming so scattered. And I feel like you have three parts. It was a three-part series.
Right.
You had three parts to literally cover everything. So why were you rushing the questions in the last episode?
Mm-hmm.
Why? That was how I felt because this has been 3 weeks. You could have used every hour of every episode to at least cover a portion of those questions. Today we just felt like, oh, you said this and this, and what do you feel about that? Okay, you said this and this. They were not even like giving it a full landing. They were not even questioning what they were saying. They were just, okay, you've given your response. Okay, let's move on.
Right. It's like rushed.
Exactly. Very rushed. And it was like very disappointing considering the fact that we've had like 3 weeks of this. It was very disappointing. But anyway, as much as it was disappointing, we will still have to talk about what happened on the episode.
Okay.
Um we started the episode with a question being posed to Quad about how she felt about Sweetie's and Dr. G's relationship, and she was like, because of a question that was asked to her at Andy's live show, and she was like, yeah, she said they were compatible because Sweetie has the ability to be more receptive than she was. And she felt like that. And she still stands by it. That feels like Sweetie and Dr. G are suited for each other. What me I didn't understand. Somebody is telling you that you and your new husband are suited for each other. Why was Sweetie taking offense where the offense was not necessary? Because there was no offense there. She only said you guys are good. You
Yeah.
guys suit each other. At least take the compliment. It's not a bad thing. So why did she got offended and be like, oh, yes, me and my husband we're good, we're this, but I don't just like the way you said it. It's giving me the vibe like she just wants to have an issue with Quad in any way. She's just looking at anything to have an issue with Quad. Anything. Anyway. That's how it felt to me.
Okay, let me tell you how I kind of took that. You know,
Mm,
like, I don't want you to give me a compliment, a backhanded compliment, and then try to clean it up. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like Quad,
yeah.
she started off pretty good, but saying, hey, I feel like they're perfectly made for each other because he can, kind of maneuver and get over on her more than, he could with somebody like me. Now, that right there kind of had me like, huh, what? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Just because a person is younger doesn't mean that they don't know how to uh roll with the punches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
uh Develop a relationship.
Yeah.
It doesn't make them any less qualified to be with a person than you. You know what I'm saying? Age really
Yeah.
has nothing to do with it. It depends on the what's in the brain, how you use it, and how you apply um the life's lessons that you learned into your life, you know. So when she said that, I was like, Quad, you was doing so good, like you trying
Mhm.
to make a comeback here, no shade, no shade. But then there was a little bit of the shade. So I was like, okay, Quad, I mean, it just kind of, I mean, Quad is beautiful, she has it going on,
Yeah.
but it just kind of gave me a little bit of jealousy, envy. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you done with that relationship, or are you just like, hey, I'm as free as the wind? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kind of took it like, well, look, don't give me a compliment and a dig at the same time, because that ain't even cool.
Yeah. Well, I get the point you're coming across, but you know why me I didn't really take offense with it because they all do it on the cast members. All the cast
Oh
members
yeah,
do it. They give a compliment with a backhand, sub or shade. It's the show.
yeah,
It's what makes us talk about them. It's what makes us being interested in them. That's what's making us be like, okay, yes, I love Married to Medicine. I want Married to Medicine back. You get.
right.
So I feel like it's just the norm. I just felt like if you have watched, looking at uh, through the reunions, she always looks for a way to pick a bone. And I'm talking based on the fact that I have watched that interview
Hmm.
out of the show. Whenever she has an interview with anybody, the way she talks, when a question about Quad comes up, it looks as if she's trying to paint Quad like the other way that, like, oh, she's just a problem. The other ladies are good. Quad is just a problem. She's never trying to be on Quad's side. I'm not saying she should be on Quad's side again. Well, whenever I see an interviewer, I look at her and be like, for somebody that claims she is being bullied by the women in the group, you're doing the same thing.
True,
So
true.
if you're doing the same thing, why would you come? Why would I feel sympathy for you if you come to cry to me that, oh, these people are doing something to me? And I'm like, I'm looking at you. You are the example of the same thing you are complaining. So why should I feel an ounce of pity for you? And that's why I love Sweet Tea. Would love to see her back on the season, to see how next season, to see how things will bounce back. But when I watch her interviews, when I watch her interactions of the
Mhm.
show, on Twitter and the rest, we always go in and dive in on those things. Our
Mm.
interaction most times are giving me like she just wants to have a bone to pick with Quad. And Quad, the truth is that Quad talks about every other person on the show. Quad, since last week's episode, I think since the first episode of the reunion, Quad has been on Dr. Simone's neck, talking about the fact that she brought up that situation that was going on with her family when she had already told Simone not to bring it up. She talked about it. She went on interview and talked about it and said she told Dr. Simone, that they won't say that. And she was very annoyed that Dr. Simone said that. And for the fact that they always expect her to respect their own, point of
Right.
view, but they don't do the same thing for her. She has been on Dr. Simone's neck on Twitter, on the interviews since the first episode. Although now she has stopped talking about it.
Mm.
And Dr. Simone was getting the heat a lot from, because a lot of people, in short, almost everybody didn't like what she did.
Right.
She was getting hate for it. So it's already there. She also talked about Phaedra. Phaedra saying that why would I get myself attached to the Titanic? And
Yeah.
she found it kind of offensive that Phaedra found her as a Titanic, even if since she was the one that brought her into the show. So she has talked about those people, but she did not talk about. She has never, like Sweetie's name just magically appears on her name, on her mouth, or she's doing an interview and Sweetie's name appears on her mouth. The only time she talks about Sweetie, right, is only when she's asked. If an interviewer asks her, "Oh, how you do, Sweetie," or whatever, that is the only time she talks about Sweetie. But say she sits down on her own, she types up something on Twitter, on Instagram to talk about Sweetie, she doesn't. But
Hmm.
Sweetie does it. Sweetie talks about her in every interview, and the way she always paints her like, okay, Quad is the issue. Yes, I know Quad is an issue. I know Quad has problems. Move on. But you are new in the group. You have no bone to pick in this issue. If it's Simone saying this, I will understand. If it's Dr. Heavenly saying this, I will understand. If it's Toya saying that, I will understand. If it's Dr. Jackie saying that, because they've been together on this show for 9, 10 years now.
Right.
But you are just brown news. So what gave you the right to stay and say you want to talk about how Quad is? And she was like, I remember last week episode, she was condemning Quad for talking about Dr. G. And she was like, I can talk about my ex-husband, right? I didn't talk about you. So I feel like if you notice her interactions
Right.
during the reunion, you will notice that she always wants to go heavy and hot on Dr. On Quad, whether it is necessary, whether it's not necessary. And I feel like even if Quad has not given that backhand, like you said, backhand compliment, she will still have gone at her.
Mm. Well,
That's what I.
maybe she's not really comfortable within that marriage yet. Because I mean, Quad. I mean, what an unusual, beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? And she's already made. She's already
Yeah.
at her status. Sweet tea, you're just getting here. So maybe that has a lot to do with it. And the fact that she was basically hog-tied with Quad all up in her face, when she probably, I don't know if she knew that Quad was coming on the show, you know, but she came to the not the baby shower, but the bridal shower, you
Yeah.
know. So I don't know if that just took her by surprise, and how everybody kept saying Quad this, Quad that. I don't know, but me being a first wife or a second wife, I'm not gonna trip off your previous wife. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? I'm gonna do what I came here to do,
Yeah.
and not worry about your past. That's just me. So I don't understand why Sweet Tea would, say harsh things because Quad hasn't done anything to her.
Mm. Well,
Besides just be quiet. And her truth is her truth.
mm-hmm. Mm. Did you also notice something? I don't know whether it is me, but I did notice it and I found it very offensive. Dr. G is very disrespectful.
Yes.
He is, oh, thank God. I thought I was the only one that saw it, but
No.
Dr. G, oh my God, that guy, oh my, is a walking red carpet. He is so disres- disrespect. As in, I had to, when I was watching the part I'm talking about, I had to pause on on my device. I paused, then thought about it. I was like, no, this cannot be. Maybe this is just an illusion. This cannot be happening.
Mm.
Then I went back and I was like, no, 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 this is real. Dr. G opened his mouth when he was asked about Phaedra. You know what is very like I don't know whether I've said this before, and I feel so offended when it comes to this Phaedra talk, because when Quad first mentioned it, I remember in that Napa Valley 3, Phaedra acted as if she was oblivious to it. Sweetie acted as if she was oblivious to it. Apparently, Dr. G told both her and Quad the same story.
Right.
Now, you are asked about something. In the presence of your wife, your newly wedded wife, you could not have the decency of a single respect for your married wife. Your marriage is still fresh. We're not talking about 10 years of marriage. At least she knows who you are. She knows when you're joking. She knows when you're playing. This is just a marriage of just 1 year plus, right?
Right.
And you sat down there. You could see the disgust in her face. And the cameraman is a very wicked person. He took the camera to Quad's face, then took the camera to Sweetie. Quad was like, I'm sure in Quad's mind she'd be like, yeah, thank God I I rapped from this.
Yeah.
Yes,
She dodged the
because
bullet.
I a very big bullet.
Yeah.
Because how would you, as a husband, your wife is said right in front of you? It cannot be me, because God Almighty knows that if it was me, I might even have slapped him in front of the camera. I don't care, because disrespect was too much. Saying that, oh, in my mind, I was sexually having minds about dating you, Phaedra. And the part that even pissed me off was when he went further. I thought it couldn't get bad. Was when he went further and said, what if then I had the 4Gs to be able to take care of you? Who knows? Maybe by now the story might be different. So I'm like,
Yeah,
why
like he still
did
has
you
a
have to
thing for
imagine
Phaedra.
that?
Yeah, like he still has a thing for Phaedra.
He
You know?
really has.
Yeah.
This lady should be careful with. I'm not. I'm sure that guy be having dreams about Phaedra.
Yeah, but did you see how Apollo was looking at him? And Apollo's married to, well, wait a minute. I think I heard Apollo isn't married anymore.
Yeah, he was caught cheating.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but I didn't think Apollo appreciated what Dr. G said, because he was kind of like raising that eyebrow at him, like, bruh, what you talking about? You know? But yeah, I, as a newlywed, or even if I've been married 20, 40 years or something, I wouldn't appreciate my significant other saying something like that. Even if that's what you truly felt, keep that shit to yourself. I don't want to hear it, because see, my mind is going to start thinking, and then we're going to cause a problem here. You know what I'm saying? So I would have
Mhm.
been very upset, because that's humiliating.
That was really humiliating. I felt bad for her, and I was like, this guy has absolutely no respect for Sweetie. I don't know what anybody would tell me, but he has a big, very big, huge ego. It
Yes, he does.
showed on his face.
No, I'm saying yes, he does.
he showed on his face. Even when I can remember the time in this episode where what's his name? Andy asked um Cecil and was like, we asked you during the season you talked about how Dr. G, upgraded from quad to sweet tea. How do you feel about that? And I feel like, you know, we also talk about it. Okay, the way Cecil switched up and changed the way he interpreted it. But before we go ahead and before I land at what I was saying, how did you feel about Cecil switching off and kind of trying to reconstruct what he said? Because we all watched the episode, we knew what he meant that period when he said Dr. G upgraded, because every one of them were laughing.
Yeah.
Are they were like trying to say, yes, Sweetie is the upgraded. If you one of them said it, Sweetie is the upgraded version of Quad. Sweetie makes Dr. G happy. Sweetie, we've never seen Dr. G smile like this. Sweetie is this. Sweetie has done that. He said that. So
Yeah.
why now is he trying to like make it adjust himself? Like, no, I didn't mean it like that. I felt like probably some of the women in his family had to tell him that that was the most. I don't care, but that was so rude. You don't tell somebody that the husband did better by like that's an upgrade. Like, what does that mean? I feel like he said his sister called him up and
Hmm.
told him, that was wrong. But I feel like if it's his sister that is having to tell him that that was wrong, and his own wife, Dr. Simone, could not see anything wrong with it, I feel like two of them have issues.
Mm. Yeah, I didn't appreciate it. You know, again, what did that exactly mean? You know, like, don't make it seem like Quad was the problem, because in my eyes, it doesn't seem like she was the problem from the beginning of the show when I started watching it. You know,
Yeah,
what to me, what was the problem is you get a husband and all of a sudden he wants to kind of start cutting off his support for you, whether it be financial, emotional. You know what I'm saying? You start taking things away from the relationship, you know. And because I say that because Dr. G said, well, I've been supporting you from the first time I met you. Like, dude, like, you took her on as your wife. Yeah, you were supposed to support her. Like, what do you think this was? 50-50? We're not roommates here, you know. So it just kind of made me upset, because Quad never was the problem. So how did he upgrade? So yeah, Cecil had to clean that shit up, because it was uncalled for. And, when a woman is being mentally and physically abused, why is now she's the problem because the marriage didn't work out? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Now, if a woman was putting her hands on a man, you know what I'm saying? And he was always the one who was getting beat down and beat up and insulted and mistreated, you know, that's a different situation. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But by it being the other way around, how is that an upgrade? When this man dragged her, I mean physically dragged her and humiliated her on national TV. It took all his love and support away from her.
Uh-huh. Because because with that episode, I remember we discussed about it, and we
Mhm.
all said that that was the wrongest thing for him to have said at that moment. Sisu and the whole, I think it was Sisu, Simone, Toya, and Eugene, right,
Mhm.
saying that, and that was very wrong of them to have said that. Now, what I was trying to bring out was that when Dr. Sisu was trying to reframe and recorrect his speech and try to make us understand what he meant, that he didn't mean the way we were all thinking. Did you see
Mhm.
Dr. G's face? He was not happy that he was trying to change what he meant. And he
Yeah,
wasn't happy when he said, "Yeah, I do like Quad. Quad is a nice woman." He didn't like it. His face was like, mm,
yeah. I see. He kind of struggled with the words, you know. But hey, he said it with his own mouth. And how else was everybody supposed to take it besides offensively?
yeah.
You know,
Well, but Dr. G, I wanted to talk about this. Dr. G really showed me a lot in today's episode, and I don't think the Dr. G that married Quad is any different from the Dr. G that is married to Sweetie.
no, he's not.
That is my deduction from watching this part three reunion. I don't think the Dr. G that is married to Quad, that was married to Quad, is any different from Dr. G that's married to Sweetie. Because look at the way they were trying to justify. When you try to over expatiate about your, like, the way he was trying to explain his marriage, it was just like, guy, what's the necessity? Like Dr. Damon said, there's some things you just have to tell people is none of your business. You don't
Right.
need to explain some certain things to me.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he was like, I married a lovely wife, I married a sweet wife, I married a caring wife, I married a homemaker. Like, why are you explaining the qualities of your wife? I don't need to know. It's
Right.
between you and your wife. The way he was trying to let us know the quality and the quantity of his wife was just like, are you sure everything is all right? Because it was over explaining to me. And something was just ringing into my head, like, for someone to stay when the cameras are on to over explain how you and your wife, right, is
Mm-hmm.
that perfect when we know that you were the same person that pulled a prank on her, that there was fire in the house just to prove a point.
Right. I think he said a lot of that to rub it into Quad's face. You know what I'm saying?
Well, why are you doing it for Quad? Quad doesn't look at you. She doesn't think of you. Quad was recently in Nigeria here, and she was having the biggest of fun, hanging out with the, the rich crew,
Mm.
the big leagues over
Wow.
here. I
Nice.
think most of her friends are even Nigerians.
Mm.
She was hanging with the big crew, having fun, living her life. Then she came back. So why would you be literally saying all those things for Quad? If you are solid in your marriage, if you are solid in your relationship, like he said, my new wife is good. That's all I need to know. Then the remaining is meant for you and her to settle in at home. Why do you need to explain to me, the viewers, of how, like, you're trying to sell us something? Like,
Right.
you know that we are seeing something different, well, but you're trying to tell us another thing.
Mm-hmm.
That felt unnecessary to me, the way he was trying to over explain Sweetie to us. And imagine you are the one explaining Sweetie when the Sweetie is sitting down there and she cannot explain for herself.
Right. I still think he really wants Quad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think he still has love for Quad, and he wishes things would have been different. He wish he would have acted different, you know,
Yes.
because as
Yeah.
he looks at his friends, they had their troubles, but they kind of bounced back. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And it's like the first little trouble they had, because like I said, he was the one with all the money. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he was controlling things. He was looking at how much she was spending. You know, I mean, because I remember Quad always cooking, and the house was looking good. She was looking good. Like, I didn't see what the big problem was, but he had issues. because he was just too damn controlling.
Oh,
So yeah, I think he regrets how he behaved in that marriage.
and did you see the way that when they asked him about whether they finally signed the prenup, the way he first took a breath before he said no? Are you sure the no is a no? And he said, I'm solid in my new wife. Like the way he was overselling this his new wife. Like I was like, dude, no, no. The way he was overselling the new wife was too much for me. We did not sign a prenup. I'm solid in my new wife. Really? You didn't sign a prenup and you have been divorced once. Wow. Who does that?
Hey, that's because he still has his hand on his wallet. And we seen that from when he started complaining to Sweet Tea about how much everything was gonna cost, and he already gave her a budget. You know, so
Yeah.
that right there just kind of let me know, like, oh, he's still controlling stuff, huh? Marriages don't work like that. When you always, if you're the one with the money, you're always like, okay, this is mine. I'm gonna give you this little bit, but if you go over that, then you're gonna be cut off for this long. Marriages don't work like that. Nobody wants a father. That's like having a dad. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I've had a dad. I'm not gonna marry somebody who's gonna treat me
Exactly.
like he's my dad. You know? So yeah, I hope
I don't want to marry my dad.
exactly. So I hope him and Sweet Tea's marriage does work. You know, maybe she needs to like start getting a little bit of more of a backbone with him when it comes to the finances, or maybe she's comfortable for right now. I don't know, but I'm just hoping that it works for
I do hope it works for her. Because I do like her.
him. Yeah.
I do like her.
Hmm.
I do like her. But I hope it works out for her because the only person I don't like is Dr. G, but I do like Sweet Tea.
Yeah.
Let's move on to let's move on to Dr. Simone. Right? Dr. Simone was she was asked about they were talking about the trip that she went to and fixed it in the same place that Dr. Jackie and her husband had their issues. Did you
Mhm.
notice that Dr. Simone, I'm not saying that what she did was wrong. I'm not
Mhm.
saying that she intentionally did it. I know she did not have that in her mind. It was unintentional. But she was lacking accountability and she was also lacking to apologize because if I can remember, she was the one quoting to Squad. Even if you feel like you are wrong, don't even claim, don't start talking about the wrong. Just admit your own part and apologize. Let the person now come back to say, okay, yes, I do owe you apology. She didn't do that.
No,
She
she
was
she won't.
standing on her own feet, being like, "No, I don't rate you. I don't know. I don't send you. I don't do this. I don't need to apologize to anybody." I'm like, wow, like the double standard is so great.
Right. I felt she should have took accountability. You know what I'm saying? Because if this is your friend, I wouldn't be able to say I'm sorry enough. You know what I'm
And
saying?
yeah, and the way she even also blamed that the relationship of Heavenly and Dr. Jackie is creating a strain in her own relationship with Dr. Jackie. I was like, excuse me, just apologize. It doesn't take anything from you.
Right. But I do agree that Dr. Jackie needs to learn how to speak up. You know what I'm
That we
saying?
all
And
agree on
and,
that.
and quit letting Heavenly do the talking for her. So that part I agree upon, but yeah, it's a double standard because as we said, um, Simone seemed like she didn't want to take accountability for anything. So
And it was really annoying that she wasn't taking accountability when she just accused somebody else of the same thing. That's what I say. Don't talk about somebody else when you're doing the same thing. Just the only difference is that yours is in a better scenario, but you are also on the same lane. You are on the same lane with the person. And no matter how they want to say quad this, quad that, I will also say Dr. Simone the same thing, Dr. Jackie the same thing,
Mm,
Toya the same thing, Sweetie the same thing,
right.
every one of them the same thing on that
Mm,
cast.
right.
On that cast. It's just that I don't know. They talk about this, their friendship. Sometimes I'm even confused. Sometimes their friendship confuse me. You know, yes, because Dr. Simone talking now that Dr. Heavenly's friendship with Jackie is distorting her friendship with Dr. Jackie. And I saw them like after last week's episode, I think 2 days after the episode, she was
Mhm.
on Instagram live with Dr. Heavenly.
Jackie was or
No,
Simone?
Simone.
Mm.
She was on Instagram live with Dr. Heavenly. Where when she came in the live, a lot of people started bashing her, but like, look at you, talking about because of the reunion stuff that was said about Quad. People were bashing her. And I'm like, this is the same person you bashed on the reunion saying that you don't like her and the way she does things. Now you're hanging out with her on Instagram live. I'm like confused. How do those people value or weigh their friendship?
I don't know. Maybe
Is
they're
it friendship
after.
I bash you today, I'm friends with you tomorrow? Because that's not how friendship works.
Yeah, and believe me, if I'm bashing you today, I'm not gonna want to kick it with you tomorrow. I don't care what's going on or what are we doing. You know what I'm
Even
saying?
exactly vice versa. Whether I'm bashing you every day or you're bashing me, why would I want to be a friend with somebody that I know that every time I'm with you, there's a possibility that we might argue, we
Hmm.
might fight? What is that? That is called a toxic relationship. And the thing is that most times when we talk about toxicity in relationship, most people don't see it in friendship. They always attribute it to only marriages and relationship like a man and a woman, dating. They only attribute it to that. Also, friendship is also a relationship. It's also a kind of relationship. They can be toxic friends. Why would I have a friend and you are a toxic one for that matter? Why would I want to keep a toxic friend close to me? So me, I don't always get upset whenever they blame Quad for not being their friend. I do understand. There's a possibility that if I have friends that I feel like when I'm close to you, there's this I have bad energy. Like I do get bad vibes. I know, or the part of me I don't want to comes out. I will stay away from you. I
Well,
would stay away from you. So who knows? Probably Quad doesn't want to have some certain kind of energy or she has a certain kind of energies when she's with these women, and she feels like I don't want to have this energy anymore. So I'd maybe kind of cut this relationship from them. Probably. But you're bashing yourself. Me, I don't get that. Dr. Heavenly still went on Instagram, on YouTube, on her Patreon, and still talk trash about them. So what kind of friendship are you doing?
I don't know. They let Heavenly get away with so much. You know what I'm saying? If I constantly had somebody, you know, who was on social media, and I'm always being bashed. No, we're not gonna have we can have a working relationship, but we out here trying to get the bag. But as far as us teaming up together and you know without the network,
Mm-hmm.
because with the network we're gonna make the most money, but on that side stuff, nah, you can miss me with that. I don't have time for it. So maybe they're doing it for the likes, maybe they're doing it for whatever that platform pays out for them. I don't know. Or maybe it's all an act.
Yeah. I've always said it that the way they define their friendship, the way they classify friendship, I don't understand because their own way of defining how friendship to be, how loyalty to be, is different from me.
Right.
Even when it comes to friendship, I feel like even when you're demanding such loyalty, it's a two-way thing.
True.
You can't be because you're my friend, you now be expecting a level of loyalty from me, but when I want it from you, I don't get it.
Right.
I don't.
There's a lot of strange friendships going on around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some of them are authentic, and some of them are basically um, people who kind of use, if it is nothing else but your energy. You know what I'm saying? Or your shine, your light. You know. So you have different types of relationships that a lot of people will put it under the category of friendship, but those are actually associates.
Yeah. So one on the comment section said, I'm surprised production don't reprimand Heavenly for running her mouth on social media so much. And also said she needs to be stopped. I agree. She
So,
does need to be stopped
yeah,
because it is too much.
yeah,
She's always talking so rudely.
yeah, but she's been like that since they bought her on the show. She's been rude, she's been loud, she say your mama, you know, and she'll get up all in your face. She's lucky that she's with the cast that she's with because a lot of real women don't take that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because I remember, oh my God, whose face hasn't she hasn't been in saying your mama, your motherfucking mama, bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's like a whole mouthful. I would have made her use her dentistry for herself because I'd have tried to knock out every tooth, but yeah, her mouth needs to be controlled, and her husband isn't going to say anything because he stays out of women's business, which is cool, but I don't know. Heavenly is a beautiful woman. She's successful. I don't understand why she feels the necessity of using her mouth in such an ugly way, to make herself seem, it's almost like a look at me type of thing. Like, here I am, look at me, you know? So I don't know if she does it for the attention, because she has everything else. She has a successful marriage, she has successful children, she's on a good show, her business is successful. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why she does it. Maybe it's for the shock value, but she's been like that since they brought her on the show. Are you there, Uzo? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep talking. I don't think Heavenly is gonna change because at this point, Heavenly is who she is. She's standing in her truth. She's always going to have something shady to say. You know, I kind of feel like Phaedra is like a little heavenly, you know? I mean, can you have too much heavenly on one show? Probably so, you know, but just as long as it would be a trip to see both of them going at it, just to see who can hold their own, because they're both shit talkers, you know. But yeah, that would be interesting to see. Are you there, Uzo? We keep losing you. Can you hear me? Okay, I guess I'll keep talking. But yeah, I think, Heavenly does a lot of that for shock value, to keep herself relevant to the show. Okay, we done lost Uzo again. I guess we're having technical difficulties on her side, but we welcome your comments and your likes, and definitely subscribe, because everything's
Hi,
appreciated
can you
here.
hear me?
Hi, yes, I can. Welcome back.
Oh my
I
network
just
has
kept
been
on talking.
like
Yeah,
effing up.
pardon me?
Back. I wasn't hearing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and let me read through the comments because I feel like I didn't. I'm sorry for going off.
Okay.
Um, Someone on the comment section said, I don't know. Let me just read it. She said she's talking about
Dr.
monetizing her
Heaven.
platform. Then yes, intervention they gave her last season that intervention they gave her last season didn't help. She also said, what I think will shut Heavenly up is those cheating rumors need to be exposed. Bring Maria back. Wow. Phaedra is more. I don't understand. Are you saying that Phaedra should stay? I
Well,
don't get this. Be time enough for Heavenly. Ah, but the truth is, Heavenly has so much weaponized this YouTube that she's on, and I feel like she's using the fact that since she's a showrunner, a lot of people go to her YouTube channel, watch her videos, want to know what is going on, want to hear from her. Who doesn't want to hear from the real a cast member of the show? She gets the views, and I feel like she's using it in the wrongest of ways. She goes there, she bashes the cast members, she talks trash about the other cast members, and I question myself. After you go, and I know that every episode you go, I am your friend. That's what keeps me questioning the way they view friendship. Why do you stay away from those women? I'm telling you.
oh,
If I was squad, I
maybe
would stay clear from them because it's toxic. It's really toxic. They had to tell her to leave YouTube. She's now on
wow,
Patreon
wow. You talking
because
about
it was
Heavenly?
pretty. This season was pretty bad.
Wow, that's crazy.
She
But
always came hot and heavy on the other cast members. Hot and heavy, no matter who you are. Dr. Simone, Dr. Toya, and the rest. And I'm like, She comes for those people and they still prefer her to sit high and mighty than Quad. I will pick Quad to be my friend any day, anytime over Dr. Heavenly.
Hmm. Yeah, most definitely. But I would love to see Mariah back. Yes, yes, yes. Three snaps to that girl. Hmm.
I would love to see her back, but do I think there's a possibility of her coming back?
I don't
I don't
know.
know. I don't think
Oh,
there's a possibility of Dr. Maria coming back. I did like her. I did love her. So I don't think it's possible for her to come back. I
well,
don't.
I mean,
But I would love to see her because
yeah.
she has some. Last week she went on Instagram, on Insta. Buffy has a YouTube channel too, where
Yeah,
she also
yeah, let
reviews
me
the
know.
show.
Hmm.
Yeah. So they were there talking about the alleged cheating. Dr. Heavenly came at Sweetie for talking about her husband allegedly cheating on her.
Hmm.
So she was like, she had the receipts, but Dr. Damon,
Wow.
she said Dr. Damon begged her not to bring it up on the show.
Mm, my goodness.
And I'm like, wow, wow. A lot of things happen in the thing is that, did you notice, as much as they always claim, when have you invited me to your house, did you notice Phaedra said she has never been to Heavenly's house, she was only at the door front,
Yes.
she has never entered into Heavenly's house. And I'm
Yes.
like, and you guys are accusing Quad of, you don't even know how Heavenly's house looks like, and you're
Hmm.
saying she's a good friend, like she's a good person, she knows somebody's house and she's a good friend. But Quad that doesn't want to invite you to her house, she's not a good friend. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I did notice that. I was like, well, why was she outside and wasn't coming in? Like, did she come over and pick her up and was like honking the horn, like, girl, come on? Or like, uh, why was she outside? You know what I'm saying? So it just
No,
kind of,
why would someone come to your place and is outside and somebody that is like a celebrity for that matter? We're not talking about just a random person.
right. And then not only that, like, if nobody's ever seen the decor of your home, why are you gonna talk about the decor of mine? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. If they haven't seen the decor of your home, how are they good friends with you? How?
Yeah.
Man, these ladies, once you start analyzing their friendship or the way they classify friendship, you will get confused.
Yeah.
You will
Maybe
get
that's,
you
well,
get so confused. And you want something?
maybe that's the way, you know, these days that most women who are in a certain financial situation, maybe that's how they do their friendships. You know what I'm saying? Um, Me
Mm,
personally, I'm nowhere in their financial bracket, you know,
yeah,
but I do have friends that, you know, they come over, I walk them upstairs, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And show them what I'm doing up here, or what I'm not doing. You know what I'm saying? It's more, you're my friend, so
All,
I don't really have nothing to hide. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So maybe the friendship is different when it comes to,
Hmm,
a financial status. I don't know.
yeah. All my friends. All my
Mm.
friends know have been to my house, know
Right.
the interior decoration of my house. Even when I change interior decorations, they've seen it to the
Right.
newest one. I just changed my interior during ending of last year.
Mm.
All my friends have all seen the new one. So
Okay.
why would I call someone my friend and you've not been in my house? Almost all my friends, except if except my male friends, but my
Mm.
female friends have all slept over in my house.
Okay.
Time in their own houses. So you can't be saying I'm your friend. That's why me, I don't believe I'm one person. I don't believe in having multiple friends. Because why have multiple friends when when I don't see value in you, like spiritually, emotionally, mentally, any way you don't add value to my life, I don't keep you as friends.
True.
Friendship, very, very close one. Because friendship is supposed to be cherished. I don't want to be having friendship that tomorrow you might betray me or tomorrow you see, friendship, when a friend backstabs you, it's worse than when your enemy does it.
Right.
Because with your enemy, you're expecting it, but with your friend, you don't see it coming. And I had probably because I had it done to me when I was in school. I had a very close friend. You don't see me without seeing her in school. You don't see me without seeing her. We were very close.
Right.
Until one day, I was like, I didn't just know, I didn't understand. The only thing I did was to give my friend advice, to tell her what you were doing is wrong. And I felt like because we were friends, I had that space, I had that right to give you an advice as a friend.
Right.
That was the only thing I did, and I didn't know I was wrong. And the next thing I knew, my friend called me to a room. I was like, I want to have a chat with you. I was like, okay, fine. I knew she locked the room, threw pepper on my eyes so as to blind me, not for me not to be able to see and control myself. And I didn't know that this girl had a knife,
Oh my goodness.
and she literally stabbed me. I was so lucky that it was just a stab at the back. I literally,
Oh my God.
and because
I'm so
like I
sorry.
had never expect the strength I had to fight back.
Wow.
I
I'm
didn't even know
sorry.
that I was stabbed. When you have so much energy pumping,
Yeah.
my mindset was like, I'm gonna fight my way. Once I
Wow.
run out, people will surely mentally. Let me just. Just when I run out, I knew came. I was like, okay, go into my room, go and stay and wash up, wash off your eyes from the pepper. And I
Wow.
did. And that was when somebody came at my back and was like, the person shouted. I was like, what's going on? What happened? What happened? The person was like, oh, you've been stabbed. That
Wow.
was the sharp pain. And I had to go and literally, I was wearing a white singlet that day. That singlet was never usable again. It was drenched in my blood.
Yeah, that's traumatic.
So when it comes when I'm speaking about friendship, I know what I'm saying because I know that don't just go around friends and you're not friends, because sometimes the way you think that somebody is on a level of friendship with you, it's not the same level the person is with.
Yeah.
So
Believe me. I know. I've been there.
that's why when they talk about friendship on this mind to medicine, it's very confusing.
Yeah. I can
Some
see that.
what I see them as is cast members.
Yeah. Work
You were
associates.
saying something.
No, I
Mm-hmm.
said work associates.
Mm-hmm. That's what I see them as. I don't understand why they want to make it more than it should be.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
just
why they
feel
want
like
to make it more
I
than it
just
should
feel
be.
like the only ones that were really friends were Jackie and Simone, and maybe Mariah, because Mariah is the one who shot the show to the networks, found all the women, and the husbands, that were doctors were like, okay, yeah, all right, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah, these group
And
of women, I
did
don't
you
think
notice the
were
way they cut
actually
short?
friends. Pardon me?
Yeah. No, go on, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I was saying I didn't think that this group of women came to the show actually being friends at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And then
Sometimes
they
fame.
had so much commotion between all these years. They're still really not friends. They're just work associates at this point. Are you there?
Sometimes fame is a very bad thing. That's why I don't like fame.
Yeah.
Because fame,
Well, some women marry for fame, for the love of money. I've had plenty of different opportunities, and I was never intrigued, because I've always been the type of person that's like, I know my hustle and I know I can always keep money in my pockets, and be able to take care of myself, and then, I got older and started having kids. I was able to support for my kids. You know what I'm saying? I didn't
mhm.
rely on anybody, not even their fathers. You know, I did everything on my own, so you got a lot of women that just don't, they rely on the fortune and the fame.
Yeah. And I think that was the problem. They all came in here, like you said, as friends, but everything in between just became too much.
Yeah.
Everything just became, they couldn't handle. Sometimes when we pray for a certain kind of blessing and we cannot handle that blessing, it ends up in disguise being a curse because they came in as friends and the friendships destroyed over faith. So at the end of the day, what was the gain? What was the gain? Well, anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Don't forget to like and comment your thoughts and opinion on the comment section. Don't also forget to click on the subscription button down below to subscribe. We'll see you guys same time. Oh, sure. This is the last episode, so it's not gonna be a next week. Well, we can you can join us tomorrow. Sorry, today, later today. I think in the next like 45 minutes.
Right.
We're gonna be recapping the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I said
Potomac.
Atlanta of Potomac. So you can hang with us then. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Potomac and the episode and the laughter and the everything in between the show. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.